To be used by Jesus, we need to be available. When you read that incident, there was one thing that kind of jumped at me as I read through that story, because Jesus tells the disciples, go into that village, you'll find the donkeys, untie the donkeys, and bring it to me. There's one phrase that's mentioned, this donkey had never been ridden before. I thought that was pretty interesting because this was an inexperienced donkey. It had no experience in carrying a person. No one had ever thought it to be qualified to carry a person. And up until the time that Jesus chose the donkey, it had never, ever carried a person. Which means when God picks people, many times He does not pick the qualified, the experienced, the wise, the talented. Many times when God picks people, He picks the unqualified, the not so talented, the not so smart, and those who have been forgotten by others, who have not been picked by others. God picks them for His kingdom. Isn't that awesome? The only qualification to be used by Jesus is availability, nothing else. All it takes to have a life of significance for any person here on earth is to make that life available to Jesus to be used by Him. And anyone who makes their life available to Him, He is able to give meaning, He is able to give purpose, and He's able to qualify you. He's able to give you the gifting, the talent, all that you need to do what He has called you to do. God will give you if you just make yourself available. And so many of us, we stop ourselves short because we're waiting to reach a certain level of qualification before we make that prayer. Saying, oh, Pastor, I'm not reading the Bible enough yet. Oh, Pastor, I've not come to church long enough. Oh, Pastor, I've not done this enough. I've not done that enough. I'm not smart enough. And we're always short selling ourselves from being available to God. I'm telling you, none of those things matter. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies those that He calls, meaning as you make yourself available to Him, all that is lacking, God can make it perfect. All that you are weak in, God can make it strong. And He can actually take the weak things of the world, the Bible says, and confound the wise. And God actually takes pride in taking those things that have been discarded by the world and picking them so that they could be a glorious vessel for His kingdom. Imagine, that donkey had never had the privilege of being chosen to be ridden upon, and yet Jesus chose to ride that donkey that day.